Hello. So today I'll be talking about how you can become a permanent teacher if you are a newly qualified teacher and you are currently employed in a temporary capacity at the school in a substantive vacant post. Now that's quite a mouthful. Basically means that you are contracting at the school and you are contracting in a post that is allocated to the school. It's a permanent post and that post can be filled permanently. And here you are serving in that post and you may be eligible to be converted from your temporary status to your permanent status. Now, there are many requirements that you have to satisfy, and of course, what the school and the SGB must do. But before we dive in there, let me just introduce myself. I'm Sharon Lewin. This is the School Corridor channel, and we discuss everything to do with school. So we discuss school leadership, school management, governance, personal well-being, and professional well-being, because we want you to grow and just become the best teacher and person that you can be. So let's dive into what are the requirements if you are in a temporary post and you would like to be considered to become a permanent staff member and take advantage of this conversion provision that is allowed for in the Employment of Educators Act. Right, so let's get going. Let's look at the requirements that you must satisfy. Firstly, you must at least have a 3-year tertiary qualification that qualifies you to teach as a teacher here in South Africa. That means that you're going to satisfy the minimum REQV requirement, which is REQV 13. Then secondly, you must ensure that the post that you're currently in is in the learning area or the phase that you are qualified to teach. Let's say, for example, you are an InterSen qualified teacher. That means that you can teach from grades 4 to grade 9. So you must ensure that you have been correctly placed in a post at the school. Then, of course, if you have specialized in teaching a particular subject, then it makes sense that you have been appointed to assist with the specialization or specialized teaching of that particular subject. Then the third requirement is that you need to understand your job description. Now you need to go and study the job description in the PAM document, and you will see there are at least 5 key requirement areas. The one has to do with classroom teaching and of course the administration of all your teaching and learning documents and processes and records. Then there's a key requirement area that speaks about your duty to do additional administrative duties as prescribed by your school leadership. There is also a key requirement area that speaks about communication, and that means that you need to be an effective communicator that will include communication with your learners, your parents, your colleagues, and everybody else. And then there's another key requirement area that speaks specifically to you in terms of always upskilling yourself as a teacher. So that means that you have to be reading about the latest research and the current trends in education, and that there should always be that the responsibility to improve your experience and knowledge and competence as a teacher. So those are the 3 professional or academic requirements. The other requirement that you must satisfy is the fact that you need to be a SACE registered member. That means you must belong to the South African Council of Educators. And then, of course, the last requirement is that you should have been in that particular post that you want to qualify for the conversion for at least 3 months. Okay? So those are your requirements that you must satisfy. Now, what are the requirements that your department head must satisfy? One is, throughout your teaching career as a newly qualified teacher, in the months that you have served now, your department head should be mentoring and coaching and supporting you. Your department head should be providing you with all the support that can help you to advance as a teacher, to improve your craft as a teacher. So if you're currently not receiving that kind of support and training and mentoring and coaching from your department head, then that is an oversight on the school's part. And I would strongly suggest that something be done about that, because as a new teacher, you may come in with your academic knowledge, but you do lack in terms of experience, and more experienced teachers are able to help you. And of course, your department head is the one that must give you access to perhaps a mentor at the school who can help you to grow and just find your feet at the school. Then, of course, what is the role of your principal and the SGP? Now, let's say that after teaching for a few months at the school, department head is speaking positively about you, that you have been placed correctly, that you're teaching the grades, that you're qualified to teach, that you're teaching the subject that you're qualified to teach, and that you are blossoming as a teacher. Then that information can be fed to the principal, and of course your principal will then recommend that you be converted from a temporary teacher to a permanent teacher so that you can continue to add value at the school. Now, that recommendation will have to be given to the SGP, because the SGP is the only body that can recommend to the head of department the conversion of a teacher from temporary status to permanent status in a vacant substantive post at that particular school. So hopefully that has covered all the technicalities around how you can be converted from a temporary teacher to a permanent teacher, and then of course what are the next steps that you must take. Right, so the first step is that if you don't have at least a minimum 3 months serving in that particular post, then that should be your first goal, because only when you've served for at least 3 months can you be considered to be converted from temporary to permanent. And then if you have satisfied that minimum requirement of serving in the right post for at least 3 months, then your SGB and principal and DH will then obviously discuss, give you an opportunity, run a particular interview or whatever process they run there at the school, and they'll make a recommendation via the SGB to have you permanently appointed at the school. And then what should you do next? You should, once you have your permanent status, continue to grow and excel as a teacher. And then of course on a personal level you benefit as well, because once you're a permanent teacher you will then also benefit from all the financial perks that are available to permanent employees of the state. For example, you will be able to contribute to the pension fund, the GPF pension fund. You will qualify for the housing subsidy. You will of course qualify to be a member of GEMS, the medical aid, and there are many other perks that you can take advantage of, including having some job security as well. So at least you have some stability and you can not worry about, where is the next post going to come from. So if you're out there and you really want to be considered to be converted from temporary to permanent, then explore that and have fun as a teacher. And if you found value in this discussion here, then I would strongly request that you share this video with people who would benefit from it as well. And then of course this is the kind of topic I discuss here at School Corridor, so just press that subscribe button and that notification bell, so whenever I do post a video you will be the first to see what I posted. And then of course you can always watch other videos on the channel as well, and you'll check, I have put on a few cards here, this side and that side, and perhaps here at the bottom as well. So go on and out there and explore what I've put out on School Corridor. And so until next time, cheerio.